Kelly Hushin, editor of the e-tail blog, and I'm here with Greg Bettinelli, CMO for Hautelook. We learned how to say that today. Thank you so much.
I appreciate being here.
So we're here at e-tail West in Palm Springs, and Greg just gave a presentation about the social media program that they won an e-tail Best in Class award for. So congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you very much. Really, my team did all the work. I'm just here speaking for them.
Okay, well, we appreciate you being here. So we're going to talk a little bit about that program. I guess the first question is, can you explain to us what the program was? Just kind of give us a rundown of the program.
Yeah, so I think it was really focused on how brands or businesses like Hautelook are using social media as a way to extend the conversation and really grow their business via Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and similar social media vehicles.
So what did you guys want to do then with Facebook, with Twitter, whichever platform it was that you chose? What did you want to accomplish with those channels in this program?
Yeah, I think it was really twofold. One was to extend the conversation, the Hautelook conversation with our customers and our brand partners. As you may know, Hautelook is a leading flash sale site in which our customers interact with us for maybe 5 to 10 minutes every day. They're really not looking to read content. They're not necessarily looking to interact during the shopping experience. Shopping for them is really a sport. They're looking for get access to the best brands at the best prices. So we thought about how to use social media as a way to extend that conversation off of the Hautelook.com platform to enable us to really build our brand and build our brand identity. The other big objective for us is really to get outside of the inbox. As you know, you're probably a user of many different flash sale and daily deal sites. The inbox can get slightly overwhelming, and so how can we better communicate to our customers what brands we're having, what great sales we have beyond just the inbox? And so using social media like Twitter and Facebook and YouTube are great avenues for us to promote our individual events.
So one of the big initiatives that you guys took, which is, you could say is a risk for retailers, was to actually initiate some sales inside Facebook where you could not get products otherwise, correct?
That's right.
So can you just explain then, why did you decide to do that? What were sort of your objectives with that particular launch, and what were the successes? What were the pitfalls? So I guess we could start with, why did you decide to do this?
Yeah, I think it was important. We're still a young company, but this was about a little over a year ago. We wanted to be fast, we wanted to be first, and we wanted to be different. And so we were really looking for brand partners who wanted to do the same. And so we all view social media as a huge wildfire and lightning rod to really, again, extend that conversation to the communities that are interested in our brands. And so we work with the brands who wanted to be able to have those conversations. And so, when you're being first, it's very different. The reality is that Facebook is not an e-commerce platform, but it doesn't mean it can't be incredibly valuable to e-commerce. And that's mostly what we learned, is that, you can really promote and discuss and work around Facebook to promote events and interact with them. But when you hit the buy button, you probably want to do it on the site or on the mobile app itself. A few things we learned, some pitfalls, is things like mobile play a big role in utilization of Facebook and Twitter. The mobile experience for Facebook is very different than the web experience. The e-commerce technology that we use and others use was built around the web, despite half of the customers who are interacting with us not being able to because they were on the mobile devices. I think that was a big pitfall. Just those type of people have expectations from a speed and technology capability because they've been shopping online for 15 years. The reality was people had been shopping on Facebook for 15 minutes, and a lot of the people who are shopping don't remember what 1996 was like. And so I think that had a lot to do with it as well.
So what were some successes? Can you talk about any numbers?
Yeah, well, we sold close to $200,000 worth of product, which at that time was by far the most amount of any sort of commerce that's ever happened on Facebook. For us, it was a good size event, but it was not anywhere near what we were doing online as well. The number of likes and interactions was dramatically increased. It really created conversation. Some of it wasn't great, but most of it was. And the third was we got a tremendous amount of media and PR pickup from it. So I think when you're thinking about social media, it's important to think beyond just your customers, beyond just your partners, but also what does it mean to the company. And so us being first to do what we did, as well as got a lot, and we were in the New York Times, we were on TechCrunch, different things which I think were very important to Hautelook, the brand at the time, is where we were as a company.
And did you guys do any sort of outreach to get that press, or was that sort of organically picked up? I mean, do you have PR people who are trying to help you with that?
Yeah, in that case, we clearly had it in our PR calendar. You never know. We've done several things where no one's ever heard of it, but we actually had that on our PR calendar too. This happened to be one of the things that's very relevant, very timely. It was done in Q4 during the shopping season. This was Facebook was, not that it's any smaller now, but continued to get more mainstream and popular, and so I think that was the timing was right and the story picked up.
So there's also an issue that people here are talking about. Before your presentation, there was a venture capitalist panel where people are sort of skeptical still of whether or not flash sale sites are going to last, or whether these subscription-based models are, they're still a little bit murky about the future of them. How do you feel about that? What is your response to that? And also, how does a flash sale site like Hautelook distinguish itself?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a softball question for me. So the reality is, in 2012, there's going to be close to $3 billion worth of transactions around daily deal and flash sale sites. It's still a very small percentage of overall e-commerce, so we kind of get wrapped up into, oh my God, are they going to last? Are they not going to last? The reality is the customers voted that this is a way they like to participate in e-commerce. The other reality is less than 2% of all of e-commerce. So we get far more than 2% of the attention for a business that's well over $200 billion. And so I think there's still a lot to figure out about who's going to survive 5 to 10 years. Clearly, I don't think Nordstrom's going anywhere anytime soon. They bought us last year. They've been around for over 110 years. We're clearly part of their long-term strategic objective about how we work with the Nordstrom and the Nordstrom Rack brands. So from Hautelook's perspective, which was where I spend most of my time worrying about, I think we're pretty well positioned. I tend to spend less time thinking about what happens to Groupon, although I am reminded that they have $18 billion valuation. So it kind of, we're very focused on the bright, shiny objects. We've moved from flash sales to daily deal sites to subscription-based commerce now to curated commerce and Pinterest very quickly in less than 2 years. So I think sometimes we need to be a little bit more patient. But the reality is, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of product are sold each year on Hautelook. We make money. And so I think from a viability perspective, we like where we are.
Well, that's great to hear. You're doing all right. That's just what we want to hear here at E-Tail. So last question for you, which I'm asking all of the retailers who I speak to, is what do you think the next big thing in e-commerce will be?
It's a great question. I'm a big fan, and this is coming from a guy, this is my personal view. I think we're going to move more towards full price, full margin types of sales. It won't be Hautelook that's doing this, but the next big things will not about who can offer the next great deal and the next great, whether it's something like a Hautelook or a Groupon or a Living Social or a Guild Group. It's going to be about who can sell product incrementally that doesn't have to be discounted. I think that's going to be a great complement to our business. But just looking holistically, e-commerce, I think there's been a lot of attention around that. I think there's going to be a huge focus on design. I think there are competitors of ours. If you look at just the mass improvement of website functionality, I think the tablet has a lot to do with this, where sites are so much more interactive now. There's so much more color, such better use of pictures and imagery to drive conversion. I think it's less about text and more about storytelling through product and through imagery. I think it's a big trend for us, and really will increase a lot of key metrics that we look for from an e-commerce perspective.
Very interesting. Well, thank you so much for being here, for presenting your program, and also for talking to me, and enjoy the rest of the conference.